Today we are going to do a lesson on engineering physics 2, and today's topic is electrical resistance. Now before we start, I hope that the concept of electrical current and Ohm's law is already clear to you. So let's start. सो इलेक्ट्रिकल रेजिस्टेंस पढ़ने से पहले, उसको जानने से पहले चलिए हम ये सोचते हैं कि इस टर्म को हमने पहले कभी सुना है कि नहीं। हाँ, आप सही सोच रहे हैं। हमारी ज़िंदगी में हमने कई बार इस टर्म को सुना है और हमने इसको यूज़ भी किया है। कोई भी काम करने के वक्त जब भी कोई बाधाएं आती हैं तो उसे हम रेजिस्टेंस कहते हैं। ठीक उसी तरह से इलेक्ट्रिकल करंट के फ्लो में अगर कोई बाधाएं आए तो उसे हम इलेक्ट्रिकल रेजिस्टेंस कहते हैं। Now let us see what are the learning objectives of this lesson. After the lesson, you will be able to define electrical resistance, you will be able to understand the cause of resistance, you will be able to identify the factors which affects resistance, and you will be also able to construct the series and parallel combination of resistances. We have to start with the Ohm's law. In Ohm's law, it states that the current flowing through any conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its two ends. So the equation stands V proportional to I. I am not going to the detail of the Ohm's law because I hope that the conception is already clear to you as I said earlier. So after this, if we write an equal symbol, then there will be a constant of proportionality which will come into effect. And this constant of proportionality here is written as R. In general, the equation is written as V equal to IR. Now, this constant of proportionality R is known as the electrical resistance of a conductor. It is defined as the property of a conductor by virtue of which it resists the flow of charge through it. And it is measured from this formula. So the formula ultimately stands for R is equal to V by I. So from this equation we can calculate the value of resistance R. Now let us see what will be its unit. So if we see, its unit will be equal to the unit of voltage divided by the unit of current. Now we know the unit of voltage is volt and the unit of current is ampere. So it will be volt per ampere. So this is the unit of resistance volt per ampere. Now this unit of resistance is also said as in SI system as ohm. This is symbolized as this. This is the capital omega symbol, and from this we also write the unit of resistance as ohm, like 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 5 ohm, etc. Now what is the symbol of resistance R? The symbol of resistance R is given as by this, which shows some restrictions or the resistance in a path. Now let us try to understand what is the cause behind this resistance and how the resistance is being offered to the flow of charges inside a conductor. Now for that, let us take an example of your classroom. आप ये सोचिए कि अगर आपके क्लासरूम में अब सारे स्टूडेंट्स 50 और 60 स्टूडेंट्स एक क्लासरूम के एक तरफ से दूसरी तरफ आप दौड़ेंगे और हमने ये बोला है कि कौन फर्स्ट होता है ये हम देखेंगे, तो क्या होगा? 50 स्टूडेंट्स या 60 स्टूडेंट्स क्लास के एक तरफ से अगर दौड़ने लगे तो क्या होगा? आप सोचिए। तो दौड़ते वक्त क्या होगा? उसमें जो स्टेशनरी बेंचेस है, बेंचेस के जो कॉलम्स है, उस बेंचेस के साथ आपकी टक्कर होगी। तो इसके वजह से आपके एक बाधाएं आएंगे दौड़ देने के लिए। दूसरी और एक बात हो जाएगी कि जो बेंचेस के बीच में जो पैसेज है वो बहुत ही नैरो है, तो उस नैरो पैसेज से अगर आप एक साथ दौड़ेंगे तो आप खुद से ही टकराएंगे, तो स्टूडेंट्स अपने आप से टकराएंगे। सो आपको ये दौड़ देने में और दूसरी वॉल तक, दूसरे एंड तक पहुंचने में दो बाधाएं आएंगी। एक तो है स्टेशनरी बेंचेस के साथ आपकी टक्कर होगी और दूसरी आपके खुद में ही आपकी टक्कर होगी. So in the similar way, when electrons try to flow in a conductor, they faces resistances because of two factors. One is they always collide with the stationary atoms inside the conductor, and on the other hand, the electrons collide among themselves. So these are the two factors due to which the electrical resistance is being offered to the flow of charges. Now let us see what are the factors which affects the value of resistance. Now जब भी हम ये सवाल किसी स्टूडेंट को करते हैं तो स्टूडेंट के दिमाग में पहले ये इक्वेशन चले आती है कि रेजिस्टेंस इज इक्वल टू V by I. तब वो नेचुरली सोचने लगते हैं कि अगर हम वोल्टेज को चेंज कर दे तो फिर रेजिस्टेंस चेंज हो जाएगा, वोल्टेज बढ़ जाएगा तो फिर रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ जाएगा. And on the other side, if current reduces, then resistance will increase, and if current increases, resistance will decrease. This kind of thing goes on the mind of students at first sight, but this is not true. If you change the voltage, resistance will not change. Then what we are missing? चलिए देखते हैं. ये इक्वेशन आया है V प्रोपोर्शनल टू I से, जहाँ पर हम अगर इस प्रोपोर्शनलिटी सिंबल को उठा देते हैं तो फिर एक कांस्टेंट ऑफ प्रोपोर्शनलिटी आती है R, जिसको हम कहते हैं कि रेजिस्टेंस. नाउ इन दिस इक्वेशन दिस रेजिस्टेंस इज अ कांस्टेंट. दैट मीन्स फ्रॉम दिस इक्वेशन वी कैन से दैट इफ V एंड I चेंजेस R विल नॉट चेंज. नाउ जनरली हम जो जानते हैं वो हम स्लो से ऐसा है कि अगर वोल्टेज को हम चेंज करेंगे तो फिर करंट चेंज हो जाएगा, वोल्टेज को डबल करेंगे तो फिर करंट डबल हो जाएगा, रेजिस्टेंस कांस्टेंट रहेगा. सो रेजिस्टेंस कौन सी फैक्टर्स पे डिपेंड करते हैं ये हम इस इक्वेशन से आंसर नहीं दे सकते. द रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ ए कंडक्टर इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द लेंथ ऑफ द कंडक्टर. दैट मीन्स इफ यू टेक ए कंडक्टर लाइक दिस where this is its length. So if length of a conductor increases, the resistance will increase, and if the length decreases, resistance will decrease. It is directly proportional to it. On the other hand, if you see this is the cross section of the conductor, and if it is denoted by A, we find that the resistance of a conductor is inversely proportional to the cross sectional area of that conductor. चलिए हम सोचते हैं कि एक रास्ते में हम चल रहे हैं और ये रास्ता अगर बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा ना तो हमारा रेजिस्टेंस क्या हो जाएगा, बढ़ जाएगा, क्योंकि हमको बहुत सारा रास्ता चलना पड़ेगा और इसके वजह से हमको बहुत सारा रेजिस्टेंस भी फेस करने पड़ेंगे. तो टोटल रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ जाता है अगर लेंथ बढ़ जाता है. और ऑन द अदर हैंड अगर ये रास्ता छोटा हो, नैरो हो, तो फिर बहुत सारे लोग अगर एक छोटे रास्ते से चलने लगेंगे ना तो फिर क्या होगा, धक्का मुक्की हो जाएगी, कोलिशंस होंगे और चलने में बहुत सारे बाधाएं आएंगी. सिमिलरली व्हेन लॉट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स tries to flow through a conductor, and if the cross-sectional area is very small, that means if it is a thick conductor, then there will be lot of collisions among the electrons, so it will rise the resistance. In that way resistance will be higher. And on the other hand, if the conductor is thick, ये अगर मोटा हो जाएगा तो फिर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को चलने में बहुत सारी सुविधाएं हो जाएंगे, अपने बीच इन लोगों के कोलिशंस कम हो जाएंगे, तो फिर रेजिस्टेंस भी कम हो जाएगा. तो दिस इज इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू A. So if you combine these two, we get R proportional to L by A. यहाँ पर भी अगर हम इस प्रोपोर्शनलिटी सिंबल को उठा देते हैं तो फिर यहाँ पर भी एक कांस्टेंट ऑफ प्रोपोर्शनलिटी आते हैं और इसको हम रो से सिंबल करते हैं और इस रो को कहते हैं रेजिस्टिविटी और द इलेक्ट्रिकल रेजिस्टिविटी ऑफ द मटेरियल ऑफ ए कंडक्टर. ना यहाँ पे हमने देख लिया है कि कौन सारे ये दो फैक्टर्स हैं जो रेजिस्टेंस को अफेक्ट करते हैं. वन इज लेंथ ऑफ द कंडक्टर एंड द अदर हैंड द क्रॉस सेक्शनल एरिया ऑफ द कंडक्टर. Now there are another two factors which affects the resistance of a conductor. One is the material of the conductor. If we take a copper conductor and an aluminum conductor, then these two conductors are different. The nature of the material are different, and accordingly their resistances will be different. ठीक है? And on the other hand, resistance depends on the temperature also. If the temperature rises, then what will happen? When electrons will try to flow through a conductor, and if the temperature of the conductor rises, then electrons will start vibrating in their path, and as a result the collision among the electrons will increase and the resistance will also increase. Now if temperature gets lowered, then the collision between the or among the electrons will reduce, so the resistance will also decrease. So resistance is directly proportional to the temperature. Now the point that resistance depends on the nature of the material has already been taken in terms of this constant resistivity, because resistivity depends only on the nature of the material of the conductor and the temperature. So this factor is taken into account by incorporating resistivity as a constant. So जैसे कि हमने इलेक्ट्रिकल रेजिस्टेंस के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत जान लिया है, तो चलिए हम अभी ये डिस्कस करते हैं कि इलेक्ट्रिकल रेजिस्टेंस को पढ़ना क्यों ज़रूरी है। जैसे कि हम ये जानते हैं कि हम जब चलते हैं तो तब हमारे पैर और फ्लोर के बीच में एक फ्रिक्शन काम करते हैं रेजिस्टेंस के जैसे, और अगर ये फ्रिक्शन ना रहे तो फिर हमारे पैर फिसल जाएंगे और हम गिर जाएंगे। सो फ्रिक्शन के बिना हम चल नहीं सकते हैं। ठीक वैसे ही इलेक्ट्रिकल रेजिस्टेंस के बिना एक इलेक्ट्रिकल सर्किट भी नहीं चलेगा, because an electrical resistance controls the flow of current in an electrical circuit, and if it is not, then a lot of electrical components will be damaged due to overflow of current. और ये जो इलेक्ट्रिकल रेजिस्टेंस है ये हमको हेल्प करते हैं वोल्टेज को डिवाइड करने में, और ये ऑल्सो हमको हेल्प करते हैं इलेक्ट्रिकल सिग्नल को स्टेबलाइज करने में भी। अभी हम देखेंगे कि what is combination of resistances and how resistances can be combined with each other to get the desired result. Now let us consider two cases. In case one, say we have two resistances 5 ohm each, but to make any circuit we need a 10 ohm resistance. Then what we have to do? So simply in our mind there will be a calculation going on that if we could add these two resistances, then we would get a 10 ohm resistance. 5 ohm plus 5 ohm would make a 10 ohm resistance. But the question is how we can add these two resistances. Now for this we have a series combination of resistances. In series combination, a resistance is connected just after another. Say in this case we will connect this 5 ohm resistance and this 5 ohm resistance in this way. This is one 5 ohm resistance and this is another 5 ohm resistance. Now this will be called a series combination of resistances, in which if we send a current I through this combination, then the same current will flow through each of the resistances. Now a series combination may be of 2, 3, 4, 5 or any number of resistances, but in this case the current flowing will be same in each and every resistances. So what will be the desired result? Now the combination will give us an equivalent resistance, and the value of this equivalent resistance can be obtained by simply adding the two resistances. So in this case, if I say this is R1 and this is R2, so the equivalent resistance will be equal to R1 plus R2. So 5 ohm plus 5 ohm will give us an equivalent resistance of 10 ohm. So we can add resistances by combining them in series combination. Now let us consider this case 2. In case 2, say we have two resistances of 10 ohm each, but we need a 5 ohm resistance. Then what can you do? So in earlier case we have thought of adding the two resistances, but here what you have to think? Now mathematical calculation shows that if we divide a 10 ohm resistance into two equal parts, then we might be getting a 5 ohm resistance each. But it's simple like to divide or tear a 10 rupees note to get two 5 rupees note. So we'll not get two 5 rupees note by tearing a 10 rupee note. Okay. So in this case also we can divide one resistance to get the desired value of resistances. So how can you divide resistances? Now to divide a particular resistance, we have designed another combination of resistances, and this combination of resistances is known as the parallel combination of resistances. So this is parallel combination of resistances. In parallel combination of resistances, two resistances are connected in such a way, like this. Say here two resistances R1 and R2, and we have connected them in such a way that if we send a current in this combination I, this current will come here and it will divide in two parts. One current will flow through this path I1, say, and the remaining current I2 will flow through this path. So the currents flowing through these two resistances will be different, they will not be equal. So this is known as parallel combination of resistances. Now we can connect 2, 3, 4 or any number of resistances in this combination so that the currents flowing through each of the resistances will be different. Okay, so if you combine these two resistances in parallel combination, say this 10 ohm and 10 ohm, then what would happen? Let us see. Now the equivalent resistance of this combination, parallel combination, are equivalent is calculated from the formula R equivalent, reciprocal of R equivalent is equal to reciprocal of R1 plus reciprocal of R2, and if there are 3, 4 resistances, then it will be plus 1 by R3 and so on. So in this way, if we calculate this particular example, you see that 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by 10 ohm plus 1 by 10 ohm. So after calculation, you would see that R equivalent is equal to 10 by 2, that is 5 ohm. So this example shows that by combining the resistances in parallel combination, we can divide the resistance. So students, I hope that you have liked this lesson on electrical resistances. So do subscribe to get my future videos also. Stay at home, stay safe. Goodbye.